Sometimes a simple dizzy spell can actually be the first warning sign of a life-threatening condition if you do not get to the hospital in time. Dizziness. We have all experienced it at least once, but for older adults, it is not just a fleeting sense of imbalance. Behind it could be a silent warning of serious health issues, such as stroke vestibular disorders, heart disease, or even brain tumors. So how can you tell when dizziness is a dangerous sign that requires immediate medical attention, and when it is a situation that can simply be monitored at home? In today's video, I am going to help you distinguish between different types of dizziness, point out the red flags you need to pay special attention to, and share with you the most effective tips to improve this condition. Before we dive in, leave a positive affirmation in the comments below as a commitment to attracting good things into your life. For example, you could write something like, "I am always healthy and full of energy," or any positive wish you may have. And do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, so you will not miss out on any valuable content about senior health like this. Let us create a space filled with positive energy to take care of our health and enjoy life to the fullest. First, you need to understand, why does our body experience dizziness in the first place? Normally, in order to keep us standing and moving steadily, our body relies on the smooth coordination of four main systems: the eyes, the inner ear, the musculoskeletal system, and the brain. The eyes provide visual information and spatial awareness. The inner ear acts like a sophisticated balance sensor. The musculoskeletal system maintains posture, and the brain serves as the control center that processes all incoming information and sends out timely responses. When everything is working in harmony, we can stand, walk, and move around naturally without even thinking about it. But if any one of these components malfunctions, our sense of balance immediately becomes disrupted. There are many causes behind this imbalance, with four major groups being the most common. First is inner ear disorders. Inner ear problems are a very common cause, especially among adults and the elderly. When the inner ear, the organ responsible for detecting movement and body position, becomes damaged by inflammation disturbances in the semicircular canals or issues with ear crystals, its ability to maintain balance decreases, leading to dizziness, particularly during sudden changes in position. Second is low blood pressure. When you stand up too quickly, blood may not have enough time to reach the brain adequately, causing lightheadedness, instability, and even fainting in severe cases. In older adults, or those with chronic medical conditions, the body's mechanism for adjusting blood pressure often weakens, making dizziness from position. Change is even more likely. Third are cardiovascular diseases, such as heart failure, arrhythmias, or blocked blood vessels, all of which can reduce the blood supply to the brain. When the brain does not receive enough oxygen, dizziness can occur as an external symptom. Finally, and most dangerously, are central nervous system disorders, especially those involving the brain. Conditions such as cerebral ischemia, strokes, small brain infarctions, or brain tumors can all cause dizziness, often accompanied by other abnormal neurological signs. This is no longer just a simple physiological issue, but an emergency signal that requires immediate action. In short, dizziness is not always just the result of fatigue or lack of sleep. Sometimes it is an alarm bell sounding from deep within your body. By understanding this mechanism, you can avoid unnecessary panic, while also making sure you do not overlook any potentially dangerous signs. Understanding the mechanism behind dizziness is one thing, but even more important is knowing how to distinguish when is a dizzy spell something you can monitor at home, and when is it an emergency sign that demands immediate action to protect your life. First, mild dizziness. Not every dizzy spell is a medical emergency. In many cases, dizziness is simply the body's temporary reaction to small changes in the environment or in physiological states. Mild dizziness often occurs when you change positions suddenly, such as standing up too quickly after sitting for a long time, or lifting your head abruptly after bending down. This type of dizziness typically lasts only a few seconds and naturally disappears as the body adapts to the new position. There are several common causes behind mild dizziness. One of them is dehydration, which temporarily reduces blood volume and causes the brain to receive less oxygen for a moment. Postural hypotension, or low blood pressure. When standing is another frequent culprit, especially in older adults, or people taking high doses of blood pressure medications. In addition, lack of sleep fatigue and prolonged stress can mildly disrupt the autonomic nervous system, creating brief sensations of lightheadedness. Based on clinical features and underlying causes, mild dizziness can be divided into three main groups. The first group consists of inner ear disorders such as mild Meniere's disease, benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, or mild vestibular neuritis following a viral infection. Although these conditions can be uncomfortable, they rarely lead to serious consequences if managed properly. The second group is dizziness related to psychological factors. Chronic anxiety disorders, depression, and panic disorders can keep the body in a constant state of tension, disrupting balance signals. Patients often experience vague, lingering dizziness without focal neurological signs like paralysis or facial drooping. The third group, although less common and more concerning, includes dizziness caused by brain damage, such as small strokes or localized brain ischemia. These cases often come with obvious neurological signs, which will be discussed in greater detail later. The most important thing to remember is this mild dizziness is typically brief resolves on its own and does not leave behind serious symptoms. However, if dizziness is accompanied by severe abnormal signs, it is no longer something minor. It may be a critical warning from your body about life-threatening risks. Second, dangerous dizziness. While mild dizziness can usually be monitored at home, there are dizzy spells that must never be ignored. Sometimes the line between harmless dizziness and a hidden stroke is separated by only a few minutes, or even just a few seconds. And if you fail to recognize it in time, the consequences can be devastating and irreversible. One of the first warning signs of dangerous dizziness is weakness or numbness on one side of the face or body. If you or someone nearby suddenly notices facial drooping difficulty, smiling normally, or weakness in the arm or leg making it hard to lift, do not hesitate. This could very well be the early symptom of a stroke. The brain is being deprived of blood, and every minute that passes kills millions of precious neurons. Another equally dangerous sign is slurred speech, stuttering, or the sudden inability to speak coherently. If someone who was previously speaking normally suddenly struggles to articulate words, slurs their speech, or cannot form coherent sentences, do not dismiss it as mere tiredness or distraction. This indicates that the part of the brain responsible for language is acutely damaged, and only rapid emergency intervention can save the situation. Another critical warning sign is temporary vision loss, or double vision. If you suddenly see double notice, distorted or blurry images, or experience a darkening of your vision, this is not a minor disturbance. It signals that the part of the brain controlling vision is suffering from severe oxygen deprivation. Without timely treatment, this can lead to permanent blindness or irreversible brain damage. Some patients experience an inability to maintain balance or even to stand or walk unaided. If you find yourself feeling disoriented, unable to control your steps and falling down, the likelihood of cerebellar damage, the brain center responsible for balance, is very high. Particularly alarming is when dizziness is accompanied by intense nausea and a sudden extremely severe headache. This headache is unlike any ordinary headache. It strikes abruptly as if being hit with a hammer and is accompanied by relentless nausea, cold sweats, and can signal a brain hemorrhage or an acute brain infarction. This situation demands immediate emergency care. You must deeply remember, if even one of these signs appears, you are not allowed to wait. Do not try to measure your blood pressure. Do not attempt to take medication, and do not hope that it will get better in a little while. Call 911 immediately. That is the only right decision to give yourself a fighting chance at survival. Especially for individuals with a history of high blood pressure, diabetes, or cardiovascular disease, heightened vigilance is crucial. These groups are at significantly higher risk of strokes. If you have any of these underlying conditions, any unusual dizziness must be treated as a red alert that cannot be ignored. Every minute that passes without blood supply to the brain results in millions of neurons dying. Once neurons die, they do not regenerate. Hesitating for even 1 minute could cost you your healthy future. Knowing that dizziness can signal the risk of a stroke, everyone assumes they would react quickly if it happens. However, in reality, many people still make deadly mistakes in those critical moments. One of the most common mistakes when facing sudden dizziness is rushing to measure blood pressure at home and feeling reassured when the numbers appear within normal limits. However, a normal blood pressure reading does not mean you are safe. Many strokes, particularly small strokes, also known as transient ischemic attacks, or localized brain vessel blockages, still occur even when blood pressure is completely normal. Relying solely on a normal blood pressure reading to comfort yourself with "everything is fine" is a deadly trap that causes many people to miss the golden hour for saving the brain. A one-time opportunity to prevent severe brain damage. The second equally dangerous mistake is waiting for a family member to come home before going to the hospital. Many people, when experiencing warning signs like dizziness, mild limb weakness, loss of balance, or blurred vision, choose to wait for their relatives instead of immediately calling 911. But did you know every minute during a stroke approximately 2 million neurons die? A delay of just 30 minutes to an hour can cause irreversible brain damage, leaving permanent disabilities or even taking a life. Always remember, a stroke is a race against time. You cannot afford even a second's delay. The third critical mistake is self-medicating with brain supplements or anti-dizziness medications at home, hoping the symptoms will quickly subside. However, even if the medications are prescribed correctly, they cannot replace emergency medical intervention if the dizziness is caused by a blocked blood vessel in the brain. In fact, self-medicating can mask symptoms, making it harder for doctors to diagnose the problem accurately and delaying critical treatment, thus wasting the precious golden window to save the brain. And perhaps the most tragic mistake is blind optimism. It will probably go away soon. Many people have paid a terrible price for this misplaced optimism. While the dizziness might temporarily lessen due to the body's natural compensation mechanisms, the damage inside the brain continues to progress silently. By the time symptoms flare up more severely, the opportunity for effective intervention may have already slipped away. You must fully understand your body has the ability to warn you, but it cannot heal itself when serious damage occurs. Every minute of delay means millions more neurons die. More vital functions are lost, from the ability to speak and walk to your most precious memories. Always remember this life-saving principle. When abnormal dizziness appears alongside warning signs, call emergency services immediately without hesitation. Do not guess, do not self-medicate, do not comfort yourself, and do not wait. In the battle against strokes and neurological injuries, time is everything. Those who act quickly are the ones who save their lives, preserve their dignity, and hold on to the chance of living a full and meaningful life. Once you understand the hidden risks behind dizzy spells, the most important thing you can do for yourself is not to sit around waiting for an emergency, but to actively work on prevention every single day. One of the strongest foundations for protecting the blood vessels in your brain and your nervous system is building a healthy, balanced diet. Start by reducing your intake of salt and animal fats in your daily meals. Excess salt silently raises blood pressure with every bite, gradually weakening the walls of your blood vessels over time and making them more prone to strokes. Likewise, saturated fats found in animal products build up in the arteries, causing atherosclerosis, narrowing blood vessels and blocking blood flow to the brain. Instead, prioritize fresh vegetables and fruits, legumes, fatty fish, rich in omega-3 fatty acids and whole grains. These foods are not only rich in vitamins, minerals and antioxidants, but they also help maintain the elasticity of blood vessel walls, support blood pressure control, and reduce the risk of clot formation. Two key factors in stroke prevention. In addition to eating well, building the habit of gentle daily movement is another crucial key. You do not need to engage in high-intensity workouts. Just spending 20 to 30 minutes a day on relaxing walks, gentle yoga or simple stretching exercises is enough to stimulate blood circulation, improve balance, and increase flexibility in your muscles and joints. Regular physical activity helps keep blood flowing steadily to all areas of the brain. something that no medication can replace. Sleep also plays an essential role in preventing dizziness and neurological events. Getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep each night gives your body time to repair itself, restore the nervous system, and recharge energy for a new day. Lack of sleep not only impairs balance, but also significantly raises the risk of high blood pressure and heart rhythm disturbances, major factors that lead to strokes. Do not forget that your mind needs care too. Managing stress effectively is a major part of protecting brain health. Activities like meditation, gentle yoga, or simply maintaining positive conversations with friends and family help reduce cortisol, the stress hormone in your blood, thereby lowering the risk of damaging your brain's blood vessels. A peaceful mind lays the foundation for a healthy body. Finally, if you have underlying conditions such as hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, or cardiovascular disease, properly managing these illnesses through regular checkups and faithfully following treatment plans is critical for survival. Never stop taking prescribed medication just because you feel better. Never postpone follow-up appointments because you are busy. Poorly controlled chronic conditions can silently and drastically increase your risk of stroke, even if you feel fine. Health, especially brain health, is an invaluable but fragile asset. No one can completely eliminate every risk, but through small, consistent habits each day, you can dramatically lower the chances, giving yourself the best opportunity to live well, live actively, and fully enjoy your most precious years. Once you have built a healthy diet and smart lifestyle habits, the next crucial step to enhancing your overall health is exercising properly. Here are 5 simple exercises that anyone can start doing at home today. A simple way to start is with gentle head and neck movements. Slowly rotating and tilting, the head stimulates the vestibular system inside your inner ear, helping your brain adjust balance better. Just sit or stand up straight with relaxed shoulders. Slowly turn your head from left to right and tilt your head from side to side, repeating each movement 5 to 10 times. The key is to move very slowly and coordinate with steady breathing, allowing your balance receptors to reactivate naturally and safely. Along with neck exercises training, your eyes plays a huge role in maintaining balance. The eyes are vital for sending orientation signals to the brain. A simple exercise is to keep your head still and your eyes wide open, then gently move your eyes in a circular motion, upward to the left, downward to the right, and then reverse the direction. Do about 5 circles in each direction, 2 to 3 times a day, to significantly improve your brain's ability to orient and process spatial information, reducing the risk of disorientation and dizziness. Once your nervous system starts getting used to spatial awareness again, practicing standing on one foot will be the next step in training full body stability. Start by standing next to a chair or wall for support if needed. Gently lift one foot off the ground and balance on the other for about 10 to 20 seconds. As you gain confidence, challenge yourself by closing your eyes for a few seconds. This exercise not only strengthens your leg muscles, but more importantly, helps your brain and deep sensory organs coordinate better to maintain balance. Another fun exercise is heel-to-toe walking. On a safe flat surface, place the heel of one foot directly against the toes of the other foot with each step, keeping your eyes focused straight ahead. This movement challenges your body's ability to make micro-adjustments while moving and is especially useful for those who often struggle with mild balance issues or have a history of vestibular disorders. Lastly, do not underestimate the power of calming your mind with deep breathing combined with light meditation. Sit quietly in a peaceful space. Close your eyes and focus completely on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, over 6 seconds. Repeat this cycle 5 to 10 times a day to soothe your sympathetic nervous system, lower stress hormones, and indirectly improve your natural sense of balance. Although small, these exercises, if practiced consistently for just 15 to 20 minutes a day, can make a noticeable difference. Stronger, steadier steps, greater confidence when moving around, and most importantly, a significant reduction in the risk of sudden dizziness disrupting your daily life, health is always the most precious asset any of us possesses. But because we are so used to feeling healthy, many of us forget that just a moment of carelessness, a minute of hesitation, can change everything. Especially when your body speaks up through unusual dizziness, do not rush to dismiss it or delay action. If you have ever experienced dizziness, or if someone you love has started taking action today, leave a comment below with a strong commitment. I promise to act immediately when needed, to remind yourself and to inspire others to cherish their health more every day. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving the most practical, helpful knowledge, helping you and your family proactively prevent illnesses and preserve a peaceful, healthy, happy old age. Remember, every wise decision you make today will become a priceless gift for your tomorrow.